Welcome, Daniel. So great to see you again. I wondered if you've got any future predictions for me tonight.
Future predictions. So
on the crypto scene, obviously.
Yeah, I mean.
I'll wait until Christmas and ask you then. Would that be better?
No, I mean, I think it's been an interesting year. It's sort of what I expected.
Oh, okay.
I certainly expected that the run-up in the price last year was going to subside at some point. I mean, it's just a financial market to me. And I think we're going to see a lot of just people focusing on building. We'll probably see some folks not survive. I've been doing this full time for 5 years, so we had another period like this, 2014, 2015.
Okay.
So these things are kind of cyclical, and so 18 and 19 I think is going to be less about the speculation and the price getting out of control and more of just the folks who are really building infrastructure, working and keeping their heads down.
That's so cool. That's what I'm into too, is supporting that ecosystem. And so tell me what you see coming up in the future, obviously past 2018, 19. What do you think? Where do you think we're going with all of this? We really are building quite a good infrastructure and a sort of a whole new ecosystem, really.
Yeah, the infrastructure is being built. I still don't think there's a whole lot in terms of usability. You look at Ethereum, for example, the dApps, the decentralized apps. We're not seeing that many users, but it's because the type of users that are adopting these platforms it's very early adopter type of censorship resistance, decentralization. So they'll give up some of that usability that you'd see in a commercial product like from Facebook, LinkedIn, Apple, the GAFA, as you would say. I think in a couple of years we'll see services that are a lot more usable. I think we saw something like that with CryptoKitties until it basically broke Ethereum, which goes back to the whole infrastructure thing. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done with that.
Okay. Well, I guess that's just more work for everyone. And I was wondering if you could tell me, because obviously tonight the theme is on security, where do you see the biggest issues with security in the crypto blockchain world, and also any potential possibilities of a good future?
Yeah, I mean, security is a huge issue in this industry, and I think a lot of people don't come from a security background. So one thing that I don't think many people know is that I actually used to work in cybersecurity, and so I have a background in this, and so it's always been something that's been very important to me and to my firm, to Pactum Capital, is to keep things secure. I would say I'm definitely more paranoid than most, and that's because I've worked in, like I said, cybersecurity. I've dealt with hackers. I've had to deal with, securing users' data, so on and so forth. And I think there's just not a lot of great talent that has come in from the security world yet. If there's anybody out there who is working in OPSEC or anything like that, they should really consider a career in cryptocurrency because it's really needed.
I know I had David Hussaby here for the last security panel we did, and he was saying how people don't really focus on that issue, and I thought, gee, that should be one of the biggest issues that the firms and companies that are dealing should be focusing on, because it's important just in the normal startup tech scene, but even more important, I would imagine, in crypto, right?
Yeah, I think for me in particular, it's more literal. When you are thinking about security and you have cryptocurrency, it's almost like an abstraction to think, hey, what would happen if my phone was taken over or my email accounts were taken over? These are things that I've had to deal with on a professional level. These are things that have happened, so I know what to do. I also don't want that to happen because I know how difficult it is personally and professionally to have that happen. And a lot of folks in cryptocurrency, unfortunately, they have that problem. And I've always advocated that folks should invest in professional funds like Pactum Capital if they're accredited investors and they want to kind of just check off that box of investing in cryptocurrency and not having to worry about all the security issues.
Okay. Great. Well, thanks so much for coming tonight. It's so great to see you again, and I'm looking forward to this panel. It should be great.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.